Tired this morning. Today was super fun, dude. I did not expect it to be that fun. In position and I can attack the face and the rest of the wave. Like once I pop up, I'm looking down that line, I'm judging based on how fast the wave is breaking. I'm judging. I gotta get there ASAP. It's about to be fun, man. I gotta go get. Yo, this Onani Way is another surf session. I'm running around here right before I'm going to a wedding. I'm going to a wedding in a little bit, so we're getting this quick session in before we get out there. Wish me luck, man. Hoping the surf's good today. I'm tired this morning. Today was super fun, dude. I did not expect it to be that fun. Made it out there earlier today. I think I got there at like 10-ish. Probably got in the water by like 10:15, 10:20 or something like that. So a little bit earlier. You'll see when I'm out there, when we first started, it was overcast. Instead of it being like super bright and sunny, like normally, honestly, with my videos, today it started off being super overcast, which is what happens where I live in San Diego. So every single day, there will be a marine layer that comes in from the ocean. It's like mist and it makes it kind of cloudy and overcast, but right around noonish, it usually starts to burn off. And that's what we're seeing here right now. Obviously the sun's out, and when I'm recording this, you know, we're smiling and giggly, but it was much nicer on the skin to have it overcast, and it felt much cooler when I was out there when I first started. Not even when I first started, all the way until I end. Honestly, the sun is just coming out right now, and I'm like, thank goodness, I had good timing. I had good timing for real. Caught a bunch of fun waves today. The surf was pretty consistent. It was like 3 to 4 feet, occasional like 5-footer, maybe 6-footer here and there. When I got there, it was kind of gaining up to high tide. And then about halfway through the session, it hit high tide. And then towards the end of the session, it started to go down. And on that downturn, it started to get phenomenal. Like I caught a couple of really fun waves that I hope turned out pretty well on the video here. Super fun day. We were shredding for real. Everybody out there was catching good waves today. I knew it had to be a really good day because like this other guy that went out, like he started surfing probably right around the time that I started surfing at. And at first he got like 4 good ones, and I paddled for like 3 of them and I couldn't get into any of them. I was like, man, dang it. Like 5 minutes later, I was waiting and my turn came. All of a sudden a banger wave came my way. And then another banger wave, and then another. I'm just like, yo, so I was seeing these OGs get really fire waves, man. They were freaking, there's people shredding it up today, yo. People were having fun all over the place. If you have any semi-experience with surfing, and you went out today, especially like right when I was leaving, like I was like, man, I kind of want to stay here longer because the wave was just so good, yo. It was good. It was a couple of fun ones, a couple of good maneuvers. Like I was catching them on the outside because of how the waves were kind of forming up today. You could really catch a solid reform after the original. I would go in, I'd paddle onto a big boy, and then it would kind of die out because the tide is getting sucked out. But if you overcame that part where it dies out, then it reforms into another wave super quickly. You'll see me a lot in the videos. I'm carving the wave, and I'll just kind of wait for a second, I'll be like, and then I'll kind of lock back in and put my head down and then start carving again. That's because I'm waiting for that wave to reform and then kind of let me drop back in on it. I got a couple of good turns. Like I was realizing today that my feet placement, like it's been good as of late, and like I automatically adjust my feet depending on where I am and kind of what wave we're looking at. but sometimes I can take back a lot more control if I just put my foot on that dang heel pad and if I really am conscious about it. Because today there's a couple of times where I popped up on the wave and I was like, all right, like I'm good. And I was like, I don't have, like in my mind, in the back of my mind, I was like, I'm not, like the board isn't being controlled the way I want it to. And so I was like, let me slide my foot back. And all of a sudden my foot slid and I felt it touch the heel pad and I was like, oh, wow, look at this control that I have. Instantly ran up and did a turn. Instantly freaking launched down the line. I was like, oh yeah, that's why I have to put my foot back. Just one of those little things every day, especially on a day like this, like it really shows you your faults in a certain way. Like it's really fun because you're catching awesome waves, but at the same time, it shows you exactly where you can be better. Because what you want to do is constructively work on what you can get better at. And so in the moment, it's like, I'm really good at popping up. I'm solid at popping up. I can pop up on any slope, or most slopes. You know, sometimes I still eat it here and there if it really just bottoms out. But I have the wave reading process down pretty well. I'm really good at getting in position. So now I need to work on just solidifying my feet placement on each of those waves in my natural motion. Like when I pop up, I want it to automatically be solidified that, oh, yep, my foot slides back here to the heel pad, because that's gonna give me a lot of control on the wave. And then if I'm not putting my foot on that heel pad, I wanna consciously do it. Like there are moments when I don't want it on the heel pad. Let's say when it's one of those reforms, and let's say like I'm a little bit too far on the top of the wave, so it's trying to get out from underneath me. What I'll do is I'll do a little hop step and jump forward onto the front of the board so that more of the weight pushes down the board and keeps me in the wave. And then I'll just kind of try to keep my motion going on the waves in order to maintain that speed. So when the wave does reform and the second it does bottom out, I can just, boom, like I'm right there in position and I can attack the face and the rest of the wave however I see fit. I can really use my visualization in that moment to just wham, go do whatever I need to do. I kept catching like a ton of speed on a lot of these waves, yo. Like I wasn't like expecting it, and I also wasn't expecting it to keep holding out. Like usually when you catch like that much speed on a lot of these waves, it won't hold out. So like you can catch the speed and all, but eventually you kind of have to pull out off the face of the wave so that you can avoid getting slammed by the white water from the other side, which is closing out on top of you. But today, there just kept being moments when I would get in on a wave, particularly late, honestly. Like it was almost like I wanted to get on the wave like 5 seconds later than I normally would, because it was, I think it was the wind. It was the wind. That's the solution. Duh. Like if the wave was coming forward, then the wind was pushing it back so that it wasn't like falling over or breaking over itself as fast. It was doing it a lot slower. That was very helpful for me. Like it gives me like 10 times more time on a wave. Just because for me, every little millisecond counts. Like once I pop up, I'm looking down that line, I'm judging based on how fast the wave is breaking. I'm judging based on what the wave shape is looking like and the slope in the long run to see if I can kind of string something together or get speed and be able to get further down the line. Because the second you stand up on a wave, you're already making your route in your mind. Like it's instinct, but at the same time, like you have to visualize it a little bit so that you can actually attempt whatever it is that you want to do. And so for me, like I always have like a little visualization based on what's in front of me. I kind of know what's happening. When I see like a big old shoulder or something unexpected, I just try to take advantage. And so today it was like you pop up. Sometimes it was like, oh, yep, nope, there's nothing there. But other times I would pop up and I'd be like, oh, the wave is closing out. And then I'd look down and I would fly out of it. It would kind of reform, and then there would just be a fat face that would go right down. Sometimes it would come out of nowhere. I'd react slow and I'd miss it, because every day is different. You got to adjust while you're on the go. So today once I kind of got the hang and the flow of how the waves were breaking, which is like a little, probably like 20, 30 minutes in, I started catching them. I started catching a lot of them. I started catching a lot of the big ones. I started putting myself in a really, really good position, solid position, to where I was almost too exhausted to even, like I would be in the best position, I'd be too exhausted to even paddle into the next one. I was like, I'm gonna get one more wave. 2 or 3 times before I ended up actually getting like a wave to leave on. I was like, I have to get one more semi-decent wave. Then I caught a semi-decent wave and I was like, one more, it's gotta be more better than that. And then I got another one that was more better than that and I'm like, oh no. But I want another one, you know? Like, one backside wave where I caught and I accidentally, like, I think they're called like a rodeo turn or something like that. Like where you go and you like spin all the way around. And so I caught a couple of fun, big old backside waves. I got a little bit of waftier turns. I definitely got like a couple of fun snaps and then a couple of bigger like turns here and there. Like, great workout. Like, again, the speed, the elation that my mind feels when I drop in on that wave, and also when it keeps building and you just keep catching more speed and the power and the wave just keeps pushing you faster and faster and faster. It's almost overwhelming at times because you're like, how do I stop, bro? Like, how do I even maintain this speed? Of course, there's a bunch of things that you can do to do that, which is why you like cut back and why you do maneuvers and why that's a lot of the reason for those things, is just to kind of keep yourself on the wave, not bulleting off the top of it. I definitely had ate shit of quite a few times. Like I was rolling. I remember there's this one wave, I caught it so well. I just had too much speed, and so I went up, I like tapped on the top, and most of my board went over the top, and so I caught a bunch of speed, flew back down, and my board just stabbed right into the bottom of the wave as it was like curving, and it just threw me. I like slapped my face on the wave and like smacked my ear. For a second I thought, I was like, oh no, did I just bust an eardrum? But I can still hear, so we're good. I want to say I accidentally hit like a little mini like air earlier today. It probably didn't show up on the video, like, but maybe it did. I don't know. It popped up a little bit and I landed it and I was like, oh, what? It was completely by accident. I just kept catching more, and then finally, the last wave, I was like, I caught like crazy speed, crazy spray off the top of the wave. Like I got like most of my board came off. I was close to catching the air just on that, dropping back in, like feeling that bottom out, and then still catching a further face, cutting back, and then time to get to this wave. Died out, but the speed from that wave alone was like, yeah, I have to leave on this. Because I do have this wedding to go to. And I gotta get there ASAP. It's about to be fun, man. I gotta go get dressed. We gotta be upskis, man. I'll be suited and booted up or whatever, you know, party, festivities. I'm all here for it, man. I love being around people. I love spreading the joy of life and just enjoying everything, man. So looking forward to this. Looking forward to tomorrow. Surf's gonna, I'm hoping and praying that it's gonna be just as good, if not better, than today. So once again, this is Onani Way. We just windsurfing one more time, and thanks again for tuning in. Like, subscribe. I always enjoy when you stop through, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Peace.